And I'm aware with a lot of places have an issue with hot water. A lot of places have an issue with electricity. A lot of places have an issue with water. So
Okay.
even talking to expats themselves, they say Angeles City has the best infrastructure, meaning the
Mhm.
least amount of brownouts, least amount of water
Yes.
shortages, and that's what brought us here. Plus, um, I do have a daughter here. I do have a brother here,
Yes.
and so basically, families here too, as
Hmm.
well.
Yes. So
Mhm.
it's very important. This is where he went to college. He was here during Mount Pinatubo and
Mm.
everything. So yeah, so he knows the area, and that's important too. But we're super safe here from like storms. This is one of the safer areas. There's not too many things that's happened here in the last few years, except for that volcano, so
Well, yeah.
and an earthquake recently.
Other than Mount
Mm.
Pinatubo, but that's pretty much once in a lifetime,
Mm.
really.
Yeah, well, we
Yes.
hope.
Yes, and okay, are you both retired or receiving some type of benefits or salary from US?
George is running his Mendoza film production and his YouTube channel, so he has social
Mm.
media. He helps others with their actual YouTube channel. I have Social Security disability, which I qualify for here, and that's from my working hours in the United States. I've been working since I was about 14. And so that's been for about 12 years. And so with the YouTube, there's not a whole lot of money in it. It makes a few hundred
Yes.
US, even with the hours that he puts into it and where I help him out. Nobody gets rich from it, but it's something that we enjoy doing. And so that's the total income is his media company. And yeah, drone shot
Okay.
George.
Yes. You know, Sir George, you are so very funny because you smile. I like your smile. You smile so well.
Oh, thank
That's why
you.
the reason Ma'am Heidi fall in love with you because of your
Aw.
smile.
Yeah. Yes, he's very. Yes, I'm very. George reminds me several times a week that I'm very lucky.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. He's like you're
You
so
have
lucky, and I'm like,
Yeah, you are both lucky because Sir George are so lucky to have you, Ma'am Heidi, because you are very humble and simple and very kind person, and
yes,
you have
thank
very
you.
good heart.
Yes, she
We
does.
realize that we
She
remind
does.
each other of that every day. That we both have big hearts, and we. I was saying to George that we complete each other is the biggest word to say. On days that he doesn't feel good and he's not, like, there's days he just doesn't feel good, then I pick up the slack and do things, and then there's
Mm.
days that I don't, and he takes care of the kitties, and we he feeds the kitties outside and does that thing, so we complete each other.
Yeah, she completes me
Yes,
definitely.
yes, and you are look both young.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, George is.
Yes.
I just turned 51. We had our birthday month in July. Our birthdays
Mm.
are a week apart. So usually we call it our birthday month for like a week we celebrated. But 51 and George is 48.
Mm.
So
Mm.
Still ugly.
Yes, yes, you are both young. You look both young because you are so very in love to each other and happy and always smile. That's the
yeah.
secret of the relationship. Yes.
And you too. You're very beautiful. We watch your channel. We're actually big fans. And we like how you've been doing your designs, like you've been switching
Mm,
up your clothes and your backgrounds, which is really important. You've been keeping up with like topics, and you cover things and you
mm.
keep it real. And that's why we really like your channel. You're doing a good job and you're growing really fast. So
Yes,
congratulations.
Yeah,
congratulations. You're doing a
thank
great job.
you. Yeah, thank you. Because me, I would like to help also to other foreign guy not to victim to scammers.
Yeah.
Okay, my next question is, do you have any business or earning money, work to supplement your income?
With George, he has the Mendoza film production. So I think we got this at a different angle right now, but he's licensed to do like his online sales of his merchandise, all this new stuff that we just have the t-shirt company, and he just did his Carabao ambulance
Mm.
cups and everything, and his pinky stuff. And so he's been producing that. And then he has the TikTok that's got 22,000 followers on TikTok. And so he does the social media company. He helps others. He has done drone shots for people. So a little extra income. And then he just enjoys his time videoing like video games, and he draws. So he's an artist also. And
so is your daughter.
yes, your daughter has really nice
She's
work.
talented,
She's
yeah.
very talented. She really
She needs to
is.
develop it. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. And then, of course, the Social Security. So, and a little bit of savings to actually cover medical emergencies. So, we did use a lot of money when we got here, more than we actually had planned on, because people don't ever plan to, you know, like we didn't think about the beds and the frames and the couch and extra towels and things that Western people think about. So, we're like, even in the United States with George being Filipino, he sure had a lot of stuff. And I noticed here that Filipinos are very humble, and they don't have a lot of belongings, because if they up and move, they can just move. If we move, we would need 3 moving trucks right now.
Yes,
True
exactly.
So, and that's being light. So we need one just for the 10 cats.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. And do you both have medical insurance, or using PhilHealth or some other coverage?
We do have PhilHealth. As an expat, even the single expats qualify for PhilHealth. So PhilHealth we do have, but it only covers, I believe it's up to 40%, 32%, and not always. And you have to use specific hospitals. So George did not have it when he returned, nor could I ever go on his. So it's we went ahead and paid for the year up front. So I think it's less than $30 a month when you break it down. And it does go by income. So they went by the Social Security amount, and all this was taken care of. I have Medicare that still covers me in the United States, or I can go to Guam. It doesn't cover anything here. Plus we use the cash for like simple doctor's appointments are about $20 when I go up to Clark Medical Center, which is the old military hospital. They have everything up there. They have dialysis. They have all kinds of stuff. So medical is really cheap. So we're basically self-insured right now. We didn't get any extra, because a lot of people forget that when they get older with medical conditions, it's harder to be insured. We've noticed a lot of expats that'll say, hey, it's costing $800 a month. It's $400. And I'm like, you know what?
Yes.
You're probably better putting that into a savings. We have a savings we'd like to go use for a tuk-tuk, or to buy a couple air conditioners here or something. But like George said, it's his savings, and we use that only in emergency. Well, okay, I got access to that.
To clarify, we have AC units, but she wants split cots.
We do have AC, though. Let me clarify.
It sounded like we don't have AC.
Well, we don't. Will you call that AC? It's not the one up in the wall. We bought the portable ones when we first got here. It was really hot. It was last July. Well, right now I realize now it's cooling down in July and August. He goes, these are the nicer months. And we noticed in February, March it was really hot. But when we got here, we got 2 units, one on Lazada and one he went and got. And it's not the same. I was really used to ice cold medical, like hospital grade air conditioning, and throughout the house. Yeah, he froze to death in Florida, and it's just different for me. So we realized like our electric bill was 11,000 pesos last month. So I knew she was. We had the highest electricity bill here. Even the laundromats are cheaper on their electric bill with their house. They run a business and it's still cheaper. And for me, it's okay, because in the United States, that's about 200 US, 225. In the US, it'd be 325, 425. So we're still saving money, but still, when the electric bill comes in, me and George is like, it's like, what happened to the electricity bill? How can this be? It's more than our rent. So ding, ding, ding. So, but no, it's yeah. So I have AC, to clarify, but we don't touch our savings. We keep that. It's in the U.S. It's based only on a possible wire transfer, because we've had a few people that's made comments. You know how people are nasty on YouTube.
Yes.
And you gotta just, there's one or two we'll talk to on the side, and they're like, well, why don't you build a house, and or why don't you stop talking about your savings. Well, we don't say how much saving, but it's enough for a few big medical emergencies. But they're like, well,
Yes.
somebody will come and rob you. Well, we don't keep the money in the house, and it is in the U.S. Only way to get to it is by wire transfer. So we don't even keep a card where it can be stolen in the house. But we do have enough to cover. We're mostly self-insured unless I need a medical heart surgery, or he did. Then his family is he still has parents in the U.S. and a sister. Then we would just fly there and fly back. So he still has that capability. So it's all
Yes.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Can you please explain your living budget to viewers, and if you have any budget concern or
Hey,
issues?
George, you got any money?
I get paid $5 per month.
George's budget is
Uh,
$5. We allot that because he's working the channel. But I took that away for his breakfast the other day. But no, we basically live on about $900 a month. When we did a previous video, we actually listed it in our comment section how it's spent. And then we were interviewed by Vagabond Awake. He too, we had explained what our budget was. On the side, we do have YouTube expenses. Like we have a couple, like we got the Google Drive that holds our videos, and Canva and some of these other things that we use. So that's on a side budget. The cat food that we go through, cat collars,
yes.
medications are on this side. So probably about $1,600 a month. 17 is about what we're actually going through. Probably closer to average of 15 a month, but all of our expenses, including groceries, and we could buy cat food on the side, plus medicine, is under $1,000 for sure. So, but we've got it calculated around 9 if we want to go out to eat or order something or pizza and all that, which is Western prices. It probably averages, that would be about our income.
Our average is
15 to 17 if it's a good month where we have great supporters. So we do have a lot of great people that love our channel. So we're lucky.
To clarify
blessed.
again, our operational budget, 1,500, is 1,500 is our operational budget, meaning that's when we're do whatever we want.
Right.
900 is if we
medicine,
do whatever we need and then some.
It's our living expenses.
Well,
if you want to do extras, or we add extra cat food or cat treats and all that, then yes, it comes up to 15. Barbecue,
right? If you
eggs
if you
and
want
breaky,
barbecue and stuff like that,
Yeah.
yes,
Lazada,
it's
ice
1,500.
cream.
But if we want to just to survive, some other expats say, like, you guys are just survive. No, we're not. Survival
15 is 15.
Well, no, to survive, meaning like if we just want to eat and pay rent, it's
And
800
medicine.
and medicine. Yeah, to eat, pay rent, and pay
Internet,
for medicine,
electricity,
internet, and basics,
groceries.
all basics, no pluses. It's 800 a month.
We lived on that when we first got here. When we didn't, we bought over stuff when we first got here because we had brought so
we're
much
still
money.
trying to figure out where we should be.
But when we add it all together and what we've been paying the last 2 months or so, then it's been around 9.
Right.
And then so
900, we're good. 1,500, we do whatever we want, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was Mom Heidi, when you told to me about your electric bills, that 11,000, I was shocked because for me, even here at home, my normal bill is 1,600, but there are some kind of miscellaneous. Yeah, because there are some miscellaneous payment that in electricity it costs 2,000 pesos, and then I was shocked. Oh my God, my electricity bill is so very expensive.
Yeah, it was almost 12,000 this month. It was 11,000.
Right. See, that's what I mean. So at 800, we had our electric bill controlled at 3,500, but right now
another
we're like,
extra 100 because. And this is not full. We let people know that's not full AC. That's not too like if we had a guest staying with us because we have the extra bedroom, or he's editing in our office, the other room, then it would be a lot higher. But this is probably 12 hours a day, give or take. I turn it on at 5, 6 o'clock or at 2 o'clock, and then it goes all night. But we try to run it on the dehumidifier. But yeah, it's high. But George also forgets about being Filipino, because I came out here and all the lights were on, like every light in the house. The garage light was on, the living room light was on, the back.
Though.
Babe, you had every single light. You did that in the U.S.
Yeah, well, no. But lights is not equal to AC.
How many devices do you have plugged in?
Oh, don't start with that.
Right.
Barely anything, really.
But we do run a lot of fans, Sharon. So we
Yeah.
have one in here, two out there, one in the room. We got like 8 fans, and we do have one out in the garage for the cats.
And what most Arab Americans aren't aware, or Westerners aren't aware, that Filipinos only use AC when they go to sleep.
Yeah, so
And then turn it off.
it is hotter here than the area that is true. And then yeah.
3 o'clock in the morning, we're
Hey George, that is George. He's actually wrapped up in his blanket, and I'm like, and I said, either run that AC or I'm gonna divorce you. I'm so used to it, but I had to adjust because I'm used to 24-hour AC for the same price throughout the house and never had to worry about the electricity bill. But it has gone up twice, I think, this year. So they have increased. Overstay Road, Marcus, his bill was too. So he was really shocked. It went up to himself, I think it was 10,000 pesos too.
When you got here, it was at 9 pesos per kilowatt hour. Now it's at 11.2.
I think it raised to 14 at this point. It's gone up twice.
Exactly my point.
So it has gone up a little bit. So yeah.
Okay. My next question is, have you adjusted to the frequent brownout, typhoons, volcanoes, humidity, heat, and other conditions, including different infrastructure?
The heat has been the hardest for me, Sharon, most definitely, as I was talking, mostly because of my lupus that I have. Like my skin always feels like pins and needles. I swell. There's a lot of problems. And so that's been the hardest. The raining, it rains all the time. I'm used to that in Florida, but the actual last earthquake scared the crap out of me. We were in that live when that happened here, and we did feel it here in this area really, really heavy. So that was really scary.
Yeah, but just to clarify, that's a real earthquake. Even in California, a lot of Westerners aren't aware that the earthquake we felt by Albay, we felt it here. Most Westerners are not aware. I lived in California, and earthquakes happen there a lot. And they're nothing. Like, you don't even feel them. But when that earthquake happened,
I was just like this, and people said we were fake, and I was like, George.
And I told Heidi during the live, I said, go out. You need to go outside. You need to go outside.
And I thought he was like joking, Sharon.
No,
I was like, let me go outside. I want to see who's run outside, and they're all scared or they're checking out what's going on. George says, no, they're out there because the building can fall. So
and that's why I kept looking up, because I was like, I wasn't sure if the building is gonna fall.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
So real earthquake, nah.
Yeah, it's okay. Hey, but I can pay my rent. That's what I'm happy about. I'm dead, but I can pay my rent. Right. So it's all good.
Okay. You look very beautiful, really. I like you a lot. You are my idol because you are not just only a couple, you are friend or best friend.
He's my best friend. We complete each other, as I had said early on, that we're just so much alike. And we try to explain to people that we are, I did deal in the celebrity world. My previous job, I was at a television studio. So I knew like George Michael personally. I knew Lionel Richie, Sylvester Stallone. I met a lot of people, was out in public with them. And so I was used to a certain celebrity status with these celebrities and being looked at. But when I'm here, same thing. I get the same stares. I'm like really super tall. I'm really fluffy, but I'm real life. We just did an interview with someone, and he said, he was talking about my mullet. He goes, wow, it really doesn't look like a mullet in person because my hair, I've got a lot of hair. And he says, look how much hair you've got. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, he said the same thing, that we look, the same as we do on camera. We're the same people, and we are, but we have our, like any couple, we have our good days and bad days. We fight over the electricity bill. If the neighbors hear it, they're like, oh, they got their electricity bill. So it's kind of, yeah.
No, she's taller than most Americans, really.
Yeah, I'm 170, is it centimeters?
I don't know. In
I'm tall,
centimeters. Yeah.
so
She's
yeah, I
tall.
think it's
She's tall.
170.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 foot. So
Okay. And what type of visa or resident status you stay in country on?
right now, I came in on a billig buy-in, which is normal for marriage. We came in together. We visited Mexico for 6 months. I'm currently there is a downgrade to a billig buy-in. They don't give you a brand new billig buy-in for another year unless you leave the country. You can go to Singapore for a few days and come back. You get another year. But I decided just to downgrade to a visitor visa while I'm applying for the 13A, and it starts with an
Yes.
MBI check. And I did get an ACRI card, which unfortunately has not arrived in the mail, which is actually slow. So it's a slow process, as you know. And then every year I have to do a report and go in and let them know, hey, here I am, like you would in the US. And it's about $5 or $6, but the ACRI card is good, I think, up to 5 years. And then you just have to pay $50. But it usually takes 2 or 3 months. I suspect by the first of the year, my status will change to the what they call temporary residency, and then you have a year probationary, and then yeah, so then I'll be in. My long-term goal would be to become a citizen of the Philippines, but I don't think that they don't grant that. A lot of people have the misconception that you can apply for citizenship. It takes a long time in the U.S.
Mm,
Um, but here it's a near impossible. I think they do 2 or 3 a year, maybe. They just don't do it.
yes.
And I don't know if I'll ever fully learn the language. You got to be able to pass all those tests. And I don't know. So I may consider it long term, but probably just permanent residency. And then, of course, George is all Filipino citizen, Filipino passport. He just visited the U.S. under permanent residency for many years, but he is all citizen. He's all citizen here in the Philippines.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We didn't get married in a ship. We got married by a ship captain.
Yes, we got
Mm.
married
By Captain Art.
We got married in the middle of COVID, and the whole ship was empty, Sharon.
Mm.
They had like a big buffet and dancing. We have a few short clips of some of our further back stuff, and we had everything. The deck was open. It was just us and the actual staff, and it was really nice. It was, so we went out and like prepared, like we went and got like our nails done. Even George did. And wedding rings, and I had a black crystal dress that I had purchased, but we were really happy. It was really a nice time. So yeah.
Yes, and me, when I got married, I just only got married in civil wedding because I thought to myself, if you would like to have a very bongacious wedding, it's also the same. The more
Yeah.
important is you get married.
Yeah, and it's really expensive. Like ours was fairly
Mm,
inexpensive. We would rather save that money and then we went to a nice hotel for a few days out in
mm,
Madeira Beach. And so it was really nice to spend that money towards that than to spend 20,000 US on a wedding or 10,000. And
mm.
we were both previously married, and I did a civil wedding previously. And so it was just to keep it simple and rather use the money, for honeymoon or savings. So it makes sense. So as long as
Yes.
you're happy and married, that's what, actually count. So yeah.
Yes, and you are the soulmate. And I really would like and appreciate you because you are very humble. Even you have in the middle class life, but you are stay humble and kind. Really, I really like you.
We both we had discussed like with each other about, we were basically middle class in the
Mm,
US, but we had both been through our own struggles in the past. I've been
mm,
homeless when my son and daughter were little. George at some point had been homeless in the
mm.
US, and I grew up very low income as a kid in Ohio. So it's like, I think from them humble roots and my grandparents living out in the country and their farm, and then I lived on a farm for a while. It just kind of, I like the nature and I like traveling because I've traveled all over the world. I've been to, Germany, I've been to Amsterdam, England, France. We just came from Mexico. I'd been to Egypt and Jordan. So I've been a lot of actual places, but I really like the Philippines the best. I'm really happy.
Yes, and you both are the angels who come here in the Philippines because you really would like to help Filipino people. You are the angels from
Oh, thank you.
yeah,
What are the future
God
plans about
send
this?
you to the Philippines for to spread your kindness heart.
Yeah, George's intentions is to apply for a DSWD permit,
Mm.
which will allow him to go. We have two orphanages within the same block of children that really need help. We also want to go to some of the areas near the bridges here in Angeles City and hand things out. We have a guy named the Banana Man. Hi. And he hands out food twice a day to the children, and it's really special. We're supposed to go with him one day, and we want to kind of do the same thing because you have to follow the Philippine rules because giving out to the unfortunate in large amounts, you have to have these permits. So we want to do it 1 year at a time. But we're going to do that after the first year, after we complete immigration and
Well,
getting an e-trike. So
yeah, the my vision is in honest. Okay, we're far from it right now because you can't see it from the camera right now.
Yeah.
We are no, it's okay. You don't have to
Yeah,
move
where
a bit.
there's the one.
Well, yeah, we are a legitimate YouTube channel, which means we do pay our taxes. We did file our taxes this year, and what I'm getting at is we're
Yes.
trying to go through legal routes. My vision is if I can build homes for Filipinos
Mm.
in the future, that's what I want, and that's what Heidi wants. And but it's not that easy.
To reach the kitties.
It's kind of weird. It's like if you want to do things the right way, you have to make things hard for you, and that's the thing I don't understand. Like for instance, for me to pay taxes to the Philippines, like this piece of paperwork that's hanging on my wall right
Took a
now,
week.
I don't
Took a
know. It
week.
took a couple weeks of me
Yeah, he had
driving
to keep
around
going to
two
places and
different cities just to
asking
get that piece of paper, just for me to pay taxes.
and to create your business.
And
So it's
right, and what I'm getting at is, same thing. I wish I could help people more, but I have to go through the legal route, which is a really hard road ahead of us.
yeah, we always try to keep it real. And as a YouTuber, as you know, there's a lot of haters out there. So you got to put your hater blockers on. And a lot of people are going to hate. Um, we watch the Campbell channel, so we're big fans. We've been big fans for quite
Hi,
some time. Hi,
Rose.
Rose
Hi,
and
David.
David. And we know they watch us too. And we watched him a long time ago, like a year ago. We were aware of his channel. We watched him grow really well. I know they're hating on Rose. I'm sure you're having issues, and it's you have to be true to yourself, and that's what you do on your
Just be
channel.
yourself.
Yeah,
Just be yourself.
right. And you're a very beautiful woman, if I haven't
Yes,
said
definitely.
repeatedly. And to me, I'm so envious of you and Rose and the other beautiful Filipinas that are here because to me, you guys look like little Barbie dolls. So you're so beautiful. And when you dress up, it's like I told George, I said, if I could have Rose and Sharon in one room, I could put a bunch of dresses and we could do like a runway show. So
Right?
so yes, very beautiful, very beautiful Sharon, and Rose likes to dress up too, so it's really interesting. But yeah, you got to put them hater blockers on because they're gonna hate, but just
Yeah.
stay true to
If you get
yourself.
anybody going against you, just keep in mind they're usually either just jealous or trying to bring you down.
And yeah,
Yes.
we've had a few that have actually said a few things. But they're not like big things. Like they keep asking why we're not going to, why George won't build me a house here. And it's like, okay, it's savings. So we don't want to cut into savings. A few people have tried to make fun of my size. And I'm like, "Shh, my whole family's big. I've been big. It's like, okay,
Mm.
what else do you got? Like they have nothing, but it's because they hate. And that's why they hate on possibly, I know they've messed with the Campbell channel, and I know that almost every YouTuber, male or female, including like Calvin, which is one of our favorites. We've been watching him for years. It's because we keep it real and we're honest. We don't sugarcoat, is why our channel
Yes.
grows the way it has. Or, they're much younger and they just want to come here to watch travel channels. So it's a different channel for them. We're here to help people
Mm.
retire. So, yeah.
Yes, Rose also is a very nice person, and also David. I
She
like
is. You
them
could
also.
tell that's a real
Yes.
genuine couple for sure.
Yes, okay. My next question is, do you both speak the local language? Are you in any community membership that socialize with many expat in the area or local community?
Well, first off, I'm Kapampangan, but I don't speak Kapampangan. So I always tell people the first thing I say, I get in the cab, I'm like, I'm Kapampangan. And the guy's like, so that's my only Tagalog that I actually know. I'm learning a few words, so I don't. But George is Kapampangan, and he
I
speaks
am.
Tagalog. Yeah, go ahead, speak a few words. You did earlier. He rarely.
Nakapagtakumbautakbo.
Yes.
No, no, okay. In all serious, tagakini ko meron ko kay Margo Pasambal, kini mo kitang balmitan lalo mo commercial kita kami. Um, Lumaki ako malapit sa Pisamban na commercial na lalo. Now I just said two different languages right there. It's I said in my native tongue in Tagalog that I grew up here in Pampanga. There's a Lalamu commercial. There's this old church in the Spanish regime, and they always show it. And I said I grew up right near that church. And those are the two languages I speak. I speak Tagalog and Pampangan. However, okay.
Here comes the skin tax part.
However, whenever I speak Tagalog, keep in mind, there was a point back then when Filipinos literally stayed in their location. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying it's back then people didn't travel that much. So Filipinos in Nueva Ecija stayed in Nueva Ecija. People lived in Locos. People in Pampanga live in Pampanga. But now they everywhere,
We have everybody.
Right.
Yes.
Everybody's everywhere now.
Yeah.
But back then, bottom line, I never had to use Tagalog. That being said, now I have to use Tagalog because most people I meet aren't from here and they don't speak my language. So that being said, whenever I speak Tagalog, I have an accent. Not because I'm from wherever country I've visited. I've been in different countries, but it's because Tagalog was never my first language. My first language is Kapampangan.
Right. So when we go to the markets, they think he's some sort of
Yeah.
OFW, the way he dresses with his tennis shoes, and he looks Japanese, you look Korean, he gets everything else. So bananas go from what, 50 pesos a kg up to 90 to 100. Remember when someone tried
gosh,
to charge us 120
when we first got
pesos?
here, okay, a kilo of bananas cost us literally 140 to 160 pesos.
per kg instead of 60.
Oh my god.
That was the price.
And that's me speaking in Tagalog.
Yeah, so George has actually created a bunch of T-shirts. He's got like a merchandise shop, and I mentioned that before. And one of them is Skin Tax, and it shows a guy with like a sheet on. It's a Halloween design, and George did the Skin Tax. And what was it? Just says at the bottom,
it says avoid skin tax.
Stay covered, my
Stay
friend,
covered.
or something.
Yeah.
And it's really cute, but no, it does happen with them. But as far as communities, we do go to the church up the street, and I do have a friend here that has come over in karaoke. We plan to make more plans. We did our New Year's with them. We were really surprised because they invited us. Like, I stepped outside to see the fireworks, and they're so friendly. They invited us all over.
Yes.
Yes.
But she's not. Okay, here's the thing.
Oh, you're talking about where they set one plate down?
Here's the thing. In the Philippines, kamayan is normal, which means they use their
Yes.
hand. So when they invited Heidi over to eat, all she was offered was eventually a plate and then pick out whatever she wants out of the plates.
I've seen it in like Egypt, like they would set the plates all out and everybody would eat off of one plate. It was kind of hard for me because there were kids and everybody else eating off there. So it's just a Western like mentality. And we were smack dab in COVID. So understand that they didn't release everything till May. we were still bordered off till May. So we had a lot of people saying, "Oh, why aren't you leaving the house?" It's like, we're really locked down here in the Philippines. We couldn't even leave Mabalacat or Mabalacat. I always say it wrong. But yeah, but it was really generous of them. There was a lot of food and some drinks, and the Filipinas and Filipinos are the best people in the world. One of the big reasons we
Yes.
Yeah,
came.
we're very welcoming. And just to clarify, Mang Dong, Mang Rod, Iwela,
Mm.
di siya sanay. Okay.
Okay.
No, I'm
Okay.
just saying.
Yes, we are very Filipino people. Mom Heidi is very respectful
Yeah,
people. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's why I teach it to my daughter. I teach her very well for I
absolutely
mean I
beautiful to
educate
do.
her. Yes, I
That's
educate her
good.
well.
Yeah.
And I that's why I am very focused because there are something ask me why I don't yet searching a partner. I told to them that I am focusing on YouTube and especially taking care of my daughter because I don't want that she will go in a wrong path. Because here in the Philippines, I had a friend of mine, and she doesn't have time to her daughter, and now her daughter is in the wrong path. Even for 13 years old, but her daughter can smoke, drinking
Oh
alcohol, and stay outside.
no.
Yes, and staying outside in the street at almost late in the night, late in the evening with the young boys. So that is the reason I am focusing to my daughter because I would like her to finish her education.
Yeah, it's very important.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very
Okay.
important.
So, can you tell us about your channel and your goals and objectives?
Okay.
Well, Philippine. Hi. Philippine Antics is about expat help and a little bit of our
Mm,
personal life as a female expat because we do have a percentage. There's a lot of
yes.
women that want to come to the Philippines that want to retire. Probably about 3 to 5% are female, so they're kind of afraid to ask. So I kind of created, like more help for them. And
Mm,
with George's channel, I help along with them, and we spread, like you see a lot of it's him doing interviews with people. We started interviewing expats recently. It's about a little bit of our personal life, and yes, we have 10 cats. George isn't aware of that yet, but that's indoor cats now because we have the five.
Hey.
Hush up, boy. We have five. We have the five that we had that we rescued. All of them needed rescued,
mm,
and then there was the one that's been out in the garage pregnant for a few months. We brought her in the house. That made 6. I said I was keeping Lena.
mm.
And then he said no. And then she had 4 kittens. And she went through a little bit of a rough time. It even started happening on air. But yeah, with the 10 cats. So you're going to see a little bit of the cats. So it's a lot of expat help, how the Filipinas live, the friendliness, some of our charity that we do on the side, not like big charity, but helping personal friends like we did Gusty and the bike. And, it's to show George's side, the Filipina, and the expat side, trying to do something a little different.
Yeah, for the Western viewers, basically, it boils down to Heidi would be your expat view and your expat help. That would be mean her adjustment and also her visa requirements and everything, and then how it would affect you.
Yeah, so you'll see individual
Right.
videos.
And I would be more of your Filipino guide for a Westerner since I lived in the West for a good amount of time. I
Yes.
know your wants and expectations. For instance, Filipino pizza, it's not for you.
Yeah,
I love Filipino pizza, but
yeah, it's a little sweet for me. So I'm used to the Italian side of the actual pizza, but we just have different perspectives. I joke about being the Oprah Winfrey or opinionated expat help person, which sometimes they don't want to hear the truth,
Mm,
Sharon. The truth hurts sometimes. And so,
yes.
truth.
and a lot of the other, except for Sunshine Shoulders, I know that the Campbell channel, I know you guys tell the truth, and
Mm,
that's why we like your channels. And I think people that are coming here for visits or for long term, need to know what they're up against. And then people are like, oh, well, why are, if you don't like it, then why are you even, coming here? Well, some people want to retire. And this is one of the best places to hit all the above. No matter where you go, you're going to have, living problems, no matter what country you try to retire in. We're just trying to help people through it. So,
well, yeah, I mean, and again, some people honestly can't afford to live in the West. They really can't.
no, if we had to take our current retirement, which is a total of about 1,600, we probably actually couldn't do it. And that's total. We have other living expenses, but total. And that would barely pay rent there right now. So we're, honest on it. We would have to live with family members like a lot of people are, or he would have to get a second or third job at that point, and it's not an option. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why sometimes I don't like other Filipino what did to foreign guy, because they think that the foreign guy is very rich and
Yeah.
they demand. Yeah, there are some I know, I think a friend of mine, or I know her, she has a foreign boyfriend, but she demand every time buy expensive clothes, shoes, phone, and
Mhm.
then to myself, no, that guy worked very hard in his country, and then why she spent it very quickly. That's why I often in my I think one of my video I told that foreign guy must spend wisely and choose wisely.
Correct. That's true. That's so
That's
true.
true. And also, what also differs our channel, like I mentioned to Heidi earlier, that we had a vlogger in Siargao that some of you have heard, and
They also give the wrong budgets.
the
They
wrong budget,
actually
right?
say that you can live on $50 a week situation. I'm like, there's no possible way.
No,
Even
no,
on the groceries alone, it was an
Yes.
indication, and it's just there's no
yeah,
possible way that we want people to keep it real. We know the average check is around 1,400, and they're usually
Mhm.
just on Social Security as a retirement. They have a little bit of a pension on the side, so they're still under 2,000, and that's probably about 60% of them, maybe even 70% are all coming here on that kind of
Yes.
money. And it's if they keep living the Western life and they spend it on the alcohol, the cigarettes, the going out to the malls, the expensive clothes, and all that, it does add up quick.
Mhm.
We experienced that when we started furnishing the house. We immediately went through 5,000 US just to actually, put the beds in the house, the cabinets, microwave, things like that. But it's kind of what's made me feel comfortable being here. But you have to live within your means and your budget for sure.
right. And that's one
Yes.
thing we like about Sharon Lapu Lapu is she keeps us real. And
Mhm.
again, she's not one of these channels. Again, these vloggers, again, some of them are Filipino that
Mhm.
pretend that they can live off these budgets, and honestly, even Filipinos can't. We cannot.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, and Sir George, that I also tell to them about my experience, because I already had quite a lot of experience, especially to especially foreigner that the Filipino woman lied to them, because I know a girl which is from our island together, and then her auntie married a guy from Europe, and then yes, her auntie gave her a man from Europe in the same country. But that the guy arrived here in the Philippines, and then they lived together. They rented a house. The foreign guy rented a house, and then suddenly there was a guy came into their apartment, and then that woman introduced that guy to her boyfriend, foreign boyfriend, that it's her brother. But the truth is that guy is her live-in partner. Yes.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah. It's her live-in partner, and then with foreign guy came back to his country, they live together. But suddenly, I think the foreign guy have doubts or something like that. He went back here to the Philippines without saying anything to her girlfriend. And then when he arrived in the apartment, he saw in his two eyes that the Filipino girl and the guy that she introduced, that it's her brother, they live together.
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. The
That's why
brother.
I would, yes, that's
Yeah.
why I would like to share also my experience or what happened to my environment, because me, even I am a Filipino Filipino woman, but I really don't like what other Filipina doing to foreign guy, because I already know that the foreign guy really work hard, spend their time to work. Even I think they don't take a rest because they are very hardworking, and then after the Filipino woman spend their money very easily or something like that, they don't think
Yeah.
their
Yes.
mind. Yeah. Yes, that's why the reason I thought to myself, really, I really would like to help to the foreign people, because there are so much foreign people victim of the scammers.
Yeah,
Hmm.
there's a lot of that. It was kind of like our last slide. We were talking about like people are people. So we still have those same women in the U.S. and they're on the other coin. We try to cover everything. We're not like
We
Mm,
try.
we try
We
to
try.
cover two sides of the coin when we can actually do it.
Both sides.
Yeah, such as there are the same thing. The guys tend to have the Westerners come here with bad intentions too, but it's kind of like at least you can provide stories, we can do it.
mm,
We help everybody every day. We get emails, we get messages through Facebook. We learn so much, like as far as both sides. There's a
mm,
lot going on, and the pandemic caused a lot of issues too. So there was plenty. They said more scammers popped up during the pandemic, both sides. There were guys that came here. They officially come here. Then they found out the women weren't real or they weren't what they expected. They would
yes,
show up and they just didn't, match. You could be matched for 2 years on a long distance relationship and feel all those feelings and then get together and like right like that. There's no feeling, like you don't
No chemistry.
no chemistry
yes,
whatsoever. And this has happened sadly a lot. And right now, probably during the next year, you'll find there'll be a flood of guys and women that'll come here and probably leave again when things don't work with. But the sad part is a lot of them sell everything and they put
mm,
everything on the line, and then there's just nothing that they really wanted but that relationship. So you have to have open intentions when you come here. Expect the unexpected thing.
Definitely.
yes. Okay, my last question is: are there any cultural difference that impact your communication and marriage, and how do you handle, if any?
Well, now I've never dated an Asian person, and I guess I didn't think of George as Asian. His
Mm,
accent really isn't there, so he's been like that since he was a little boy. So his friends
mm,
here had no accent, Sharon. They almost sound American. They live so close to the American base.
mm,
So there was a little bit of that, but we had so much in common. Like George is a super foodie, and like
mm,
George had liked his snacks. He liked eating out all the time. We liked board games, music,
mm.
videos, gaming. So we were like almost soulmates instantly. The cultural difference, the biggest one is sometimes he will make the comment, oh, you've got that American attitude today, calm down. I'm like, oh, okay. But for the opposite, George is super calm, quiet, reserved. So he completes me by being a calmer side. And I don't think I mean, like everything, Filipinos are the easiest to get along with. So how do you feel about the American side there,
Well,
George?
here's the thing, and again, it's just to clarify for the Westerners out there. Okay, back home, us Filipinos would call it as walang pasensya, which literally translates to no patience. And here's the reason why. Okay, when you go to a McDonald's, just the most simple thing, most simple thing, you go into McDonald's, you want a McChicken.
Oh boy.
Okay, all a attendant has to do is walk over, grab your McChicken, already
Mm,
done. Here you go. Here in the Philippines, you want a McChicken? They have to cook it. Okay,
yes.
right. So just to the most simplest thing, a McChicken. Again, to you Westerners, to you it's not a big deal. Okay, what are you talking about? It's a McChicken. Well, guess what? Again, in the U.S., you just grab it and it's done. Here, they have to cook it.
Everything takes a little time, like
Everything takes time.
bank
Yes.
process.
Right.
Oh yeah, and everybody takes
Immigration
lunch.
and lunch. Everybody takes lunch.
We
Immigration,
don't do that in the U.S.
there's
So
lunch, right?
yeah, so the
Close.
service side, a lot of people have to get adjusted to the Philippines. If they're coming here, they need to adjust to the Philippines. A
Mm,
lot of Western attitudes come here, and it's like, what's wrong with the traffic? What's wrong with that? And you're going to hear me talk about it, but I'm talking about what I kind of felt when I first got here, and all of our people that mail us, oh my God, email us, oh my God, look at the traffic and the weather, and I can't believe the low-lying wires, you're going to get electrocuted, they're going to
Yes.
fall on. We hear all this stuff, but if they cannot live in the West, anywhere in Europe, UK, Canada, or America, and they can't live there, they're definitely not going to do well here. So if they have attitudes and they're upset about things in the US and can't get along there, coming here is not going to improve them. So that's why we were saying that people are people. When just because you change a continent does not mean things are going to change. You have to adjust to the Filipino life. It's a simpler life. It's an easier life. It's like living in the 80s. It's like living in the 90s. And so it's always happy. You hear the kids out playing. I haven't heard that since the 80s. That's a long time. No kids play outside in the U.S. The crime was getting heavier. Things were really like going downhill when we left the U.S., and it was right in the middle of the pandemic. So
and another, just a lot of simple things. A lot, for instance, when Heidi first got here, she's like, because again, I had a motorcycle here, in the U.S. rather. It was a 750cc motorcycle, Honda Shadow. Okay, so some of you guys know this. Now, to the Americans, they think a 750cc motorcycle, like, oh my God, really? That's it? Here, they're like, oh my God, it's 750cc, because usually 150cc is huge. Now, but I know when I got here, I don't need a 751cc. And even Heidi said, why don't you need it? That's what you used to drive. Well, guess what? A Lamborghini will only go as fast as that tricycle in front of you. Okay? You guys don't understand that until you get here, right? So you can have a Lamborghini. Guess what? There's a tricycle in front of you. It doesn't matter how fast your car goes. It'll only go as far as the traffic. And Heidi, again, as a Westerner, she basically has to like, oh, okay, that's why. Oh, okay, that's why. Oh, okay, that's why. It's not
looking for a photo of you and your motorcycle.
Yeah, it's a bunch of little things that, like, for example, like, there's a lot of things. Like, she's not used to the fact that she can get pandesal delivered at our front door. That never happens in the West.
No, there's a lot of sweet things, like the tahol. The first month that I was here, Sharon, all I did was order tahol like every day. And so and I was like, and then afterwards I realized if we keep doing that, we're going to go broke. So every day we would get it, and then we would try all the different foods. And then you have all the Asian foods at the market and all these different things. Everything's like always exciting, always something new, always something different here. So it's
Yes, and Pampanga, I think they have so much specialties food, and then their food is very tasty and delicious. I saw it in Jessica Soho episode because I always watch. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
she does.
definitely. Yeah, Mark Weems and Sonny always come here for food.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I know how to cook.
He does. He knows how to cook.
Yeah, that's why you. Okay, that's why you, Mom Heidi, it's very in love with you because of your specialty of the way you are loving her, you're taking care of her.
It's very nice. I highly recommend for the female expats, to consider dating. And there's a lot of American women married to Filipinas. A few of them have come over here recently. But I see why the guys marry female, Filipinas, because just super sweet, accommodating. You rarely, no matter what I say, George never gets mad, which almost makes me mad because he sits there with that look on his face. I'm like, you gonna say anything? He doesn't. There's no reaction if I'm upset about something. Oh my God, look at the electric bill. What's going on? I can't believe this. What are we gonna do? I shut down a fan, and George is like. And then he's like, "Are you done?" They're like, "Ah, dang, snap!" And it's like, man, he didn't even budge, and he just lets me talk, or how women will, and that's Western women, just oh my God, look at this, and then George's like, "It's okay." So he's like the calm parent when a teenager gets upset. So it's nice. He's been a blessing, and then on the good days, I'll say, Thank you so much, George. Thank you for helping me and all this. And then there's other days like, and then I just don't, hey, but it's a blessing, Sharon, and that is the biggest plus of being here in the Philippines.
Yes,
Having,
and you are a very loving and wonderful couple. Yes, you
Oh,
are
thank you.
very inspirational couple.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you.
thank you,
Mm.
and your channel will do very well. It's already growing, and it just kind of, just look at all the topics around you, and that's what we kind of do, or what's going on in the news, or what's going on with the people that surround our channels and that are other people
Yes.
watching. It comes up with good topics and everything, but you're growing by leaps and
Yes, you're
bounds.
growing very fast. You will be
Def-
successful, definitely.
Definitely do those
Definitely successful.
interviews. See if you can hang with Sunshine Shoulders Calvin. We do message him
Mm.
all the time. We should be appearing on his show eventually here. He's been extremely busy. We know he's been traveling. And then again, the Campbell channel. We really love their channel. We love
Mm,
that
yes.
women are spicy. Do your own thing,
Mm.
and if it was up to me, I would take both you women again and get you all dressed up like Barbie dolls and do that catwalk and throw a karaoke party and everything. But very envious. You're a very beautiful woman that
Yes,
will
you
grow
are.
by leaps and
Sell those
bounds.
shirts.
Yeah. It used to be YouTube, you had to have 10,000. They would never let you sell merch. Now, did other YouTubers sell merch? Yeah, they would create something on the outside and put a link
Well, she doesn't
inside.
need YouTube to sell shirts.
Well, she can just start. No,
She
but
can just sell now.
well, she can, but she can do it now. They allow it. So, well, I think with YouTube you have to be at 1,000 to do the shirts, but you
Well,
can
that's what I'm
still do
saying.
it.
She doesn't
Yeah, you
even
could.
need that.
Yeah, you could still
But
open
although
up
although
a
she'll
shop.
hit that in one
I
month,
think by
2 months,
I think in a month.
she's
I think.
monetized. No,
Yep.
no problem.
So, but anytime you want to contact us, most definitely do. We're here to help you for sure.
Yeah, just contact us anytime.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. So, we have to end the interview, but you have my gratitude and appreciation for the interview, and wish you both continue happiness and success and more blessings. So, that's it, everyone, and check out Philippine Antics channel on YouTube. So, please subscribe and support my channel. And thank you, really, really. You're my idol couple.
Thank
Thank you
you,
so much.
Sharon.
Thank you for
Thank you
having
so
Okay,
much.
so
us. It was an honor being with you. Yes. Thank you
Yes.
so
okay,
much.
so thank you so much, Sir Sir George and Ma'am Heidi. So thank you so much. Hope I will meet you in person, because I really would like to meet you in person.
Most
Yes,
Oh,
I
definitely.
definitely.
wish.
Either we'll
Mm.
fly down there and meet you, or you come here. You're welcome
There,
anytime.
there is both.
Okay.
So you can always
Okay.
visit
So thank
here. You're
you.
more than
Thank you. Thank
welcome.
you. God bless. Thank
God
Thank you. God
you.
bless. Take
bless.
care. Bye,
Bye. Okay.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye. See, this time she did it. Are we still live on them? See, it's still running.
No, not it. Oh, yes. Hi, we're still live.
Are we still live?